Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Memory Hunters of the playbook, breaking down the Raiders versus the Vikings. Now let's look at the Raiders offense in this matchup. You have to like what they did last week against the San Diego Chargers, but I know this is a different game, different matchup. So let's look at where they can attack the Vikings. Let's say the Vikings want to come in and front load the run game. Carson Palmer has weapons at his disposal to stretch out that Vikings defense. Where they can have some success is with the slot receiver. If they spread out this Vikings defense that has some problems in the secondary, they will be without Antoine Winfield. So they're already thin in that half of their defense, the back half of their defense. So I look for the Raiders to have a huge day throwing the football against Minnesota. And that's going to open up the running game. Because the reason being, the Vikings are going to come in and try to front load the run and stop the run. You have to go in reverse. You have to use your pass to set up the run. Carson Palmer is a very good quarterback. The running game is going to be there. And the reason why the running game is going to always be there is because the Raiders do a great job of combo blocking. And that's going to have to be in effect this week against the Minnesota Vikings defensive interior. The reason why combo blocking puts a lot of pressure on the defense is because it forces those linebackers to beat those guards to the point of attack and stop those guys in the gaps. If they can't do that, the Raiders can run the football on anybody, and that's why they've been able to do so this season. Defensively, you have to make sure you win at the line of scrimmage. You stop Adrian Peterson in the backfield, you beat him to the punch, and it's all about gang tackling. You want to put this game on the shoulders of Christian Ponder, who's fairly athletic. So I look for those defensive ends to not be as aggressive flying up the field, because Ponder can extend plays and make plays in the pocket. Any pressure has to come from within, has to come from the interior to get that push right in Ponder's face. Now let's look at the Vikings in this game. We understand Adrian Peterson is the bell cow. We understand the whole offense runs through Adrian Peterson. But attacking the Raiders, you can attack the Raiders at the safety spot. So I look for these guys like Vashante Shenko to have some success. Wherever you want to line up Percy Harvin, line him up in the slot. Take advantage of the interior of the Raiders defense. You're going to force those linebackers to cover. You're going to force those safeties, those questionable safeties, to be effective throughout the ball game in coverage. So I'll look for the Vikings to attack more of the interior in between the hashes versus the Oakland Raiders, and they can have some success and make things easier for their quarterback, Christian Ponder. Now, defensively, you have to make sure you stop the run. The Raiders will probably run this football 65% of the time. So those linebackers, the Henderson boys, they have to come in. Greenway, they have to come in and be aggressive in the run. Even cheat up a little bit. The Raiders, I tell you, will run the football when you think they will run, and they will run the football when you think they will pass. So you have to make sure you can be a little bit aggressive in the passing game, in the running game. But if you're going to protect yourself against the pass, you have to protect those corners. Without Winfield, now you have the disadvantage of shading those safeties to help out those corners. Those corners are going to have their hands full with Denarius Moore and company like that. So the safety play is going to have to be vital again versus the Oakland Raiders for the Minnesota Vikings. Now let's look at some X factors in this ball game. X factors for the Minnesota Vikings coming in and playing at home. X factor has to be Christian Ponder. He has the ability to keep plays alive with his legs, and the biggest kryptonite to an aggressive defense is a mobile quarterback. X factor for the Oakland Raiders has to be Carson Palmer. He has to continue to build on his success that he had last week against the Chargers, and if he can do so with his passing game, the Raiders can stay on pace in the AFC West. Big matchup here in the Metrodome. I'm going with the Raiders. They have the well-balanced attack and a defense that can cause problems for anybody back there, especially a rookie quarterback. For more NFL previews, visit footballgameplan.com/NFL or visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan. And listen to the Football Game Plan radio show, which airs Saturdays, 11 a.m. Eastern Time at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan.